let me show you this real quick. Because I think he gave me the what? 2? Real quick, I got 20 minutes. Let me show you this.
Still out here.
Are you still going to show us that album?
Oh, episode? Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yep.
that broke my heart.
All right, let me
That broke my heart.
I know that
He is. It's like he's so biased. It's like I don't know. To me, it's like I don't know how to think about it because he really be talking about the industry and all that stuff. Like really, like he really be going against the industry, but at the same time, he has that like low key devil worshiping concept.
But
it's like
you have to like research what is he talking about though. That's the thing.
yeah, but he has that. He named his album "Do What I Will." So it's like, what do you do? What do you take from that when you name your whole album "Do What I Will"? I didn't even like that. Listen to it. I didn't even like that.
I like study like the good and the bad. Honestly, I don't think
Amazon's
gotta know everything.
I studied like demons.
well, the thing is this.
You gotta know the good and the
The thing is this. I treat it like eating fish. You take the good parts of things
yeah.
and throw away the bone, right? You don't consume that. That's not good for you.
Don't throw the baby out with the
Exactly.
Exactly. Just take like the good aspects. It's like this is it's like finding the like diamonds in like the rough. You just go through all the garbage, then the things that are actually good you just take it, and then leave all the rest of the weird stuff out. Like yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Now, this was him explaining who Aleister Crowley was.
Oh, okay. Well, this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Break it down.
Yo. Sab Soul, Pastor Blacklip, TDE,
I never saw his
on
eyes.
Hot New Hip Hop.
I know why he explained it in his song.
I'm all about getting to the root of things, and Mr. Crowley has been instrumental throughout music for before I was born. You know what I mean? Led Zeppelin, Beatles. There's a lot of great artists that are the building blocks for even hip hop. So me understanding that, you know what I mean, and digging into his story and understanding why he's been so relevant and influential in music culture. I think it was important for me to reinstill that. If you didn't know that, if you missed that part, you know what I mean? If you missed that part of the culture of music in general, this beyond hip hop, but just music in general, he's had a big influence on the culture. At first sight, he's the wickedest man alive, right? That's what he's a very wicked man. But if you dig into the poetry and you read between the lines of his poetry and you dig into his story, a lot of the things will make more sense to you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it made a lot of sense with me. A lot of the things that he discusses resonates with me. Well, I just want to leave you with this. My album is called Do What Thou Wilt, and it's based off. It's influenced by Crowley's The Book of the Law. Wow. Love is the law. Love is the only law. Love under will. The law is for all. And, if you read the Christian Bible, that's the only commandment that Jesus left. So, also a great quote is, the righteous will remain righteous and the filthy will remain filthy. So, thinking along those lines, you know what I'm saying? and even do what thou wilt itself. You know, free will is what it kind of sounds like, right? So, you know, all of these, you know, just me, you know, into theology and into history and these things, putting these parallels together, these different ideas, it's just great stuff. You know what I mean?
Now, he did an interview with Sway in the morning, and you should listen to the interview, because it's a little telling, you know, because he definitely knows who Aleister Crowley is and what Aleister Crowley was about. Go ahead.
Yeah, like, he is kind of coming from like the same like viewpoint I'm coming from, because he was like do what I will, but like love is the law of like the land, and then he was connecting that to like Christianity and stuff. Because I view like people view everything as bad. I don't view everything as bad.
To me, they love is not the same though. To me, it's like, but they love how they explain love. Like you'll being as though it's like do what thou wilt in the book of their law. The way that they talk about love is this different. It's totally different. How everybody else may put it.
Confusing me, because once we hearing about that he was making his wife like animals and something like that, that don't sound like love to me. That's like it's kind of messing up my head.
Yeah,
like,
but that's his mindset of love. So everybody is carrying. To me, it's like everybody, they understood his type of love. They understood how it was like molded and shaped. To me, it was like they literally carried on the same type. Not saying that they literally carried on like making their wife have sex with animals and shit like that. I'm not saying they carried that on. They carried that type of love into a different perspective, whereas though it made a bad influence on the music industry and just in general, even in commercials. To me, they love is like a totally different love. Like that's how I look at it. It's not even like that.
The thing is that. Go ahead.
And like when we were watching like the Aleister Crowley video, they were talking about like Horus and like Egypt and such, and I feel like that's kind of interesting too, because like a lot of people they don't really study like the Egyptian belief system, and it's like they view like everything outside of like what is commonly known as like bad or like devil worship. You feel me? And like snakes and things of the such. Like they view everything as like bad. But if you really go out into like other religions, like on the other side of the sea, everything is not the way it really seems. Like the way that we see things over here is not really how things really are. That's why I feel like people should really look into every single thing. You just can't stay with one thing and be like, oh, it's bad, this is bad. You have to like really look into it to see what is bad about it. Like,
let me ask you this: how do you judge if something's wrong?
By moral standard.
Okay, by your moral standard. Okay, so it's similar to what they say Jesus said in the Bible. Right? He said, they said, oh yeah, well, many false prophets. He told his disciples that many false prophets would come. So he said, well how will we know who's a false prophet or whatever? He said, by the what? By the fruit that they bear. In other words, by the actions. And the thing is that you have to hold this stuff up to the laws that our Creator has given us and see, wait a minute, is this right according to the Creator's laws? What I'm saying is that society has stepped so far away from the Creator's laws. Look at the effect that it's having on society today. Our society is in a terrible state. Okay? Horrible state.
I feel like that is why people should study these things more, because if it messed up society that much, you have to learn like what messed them up so bad. That's why we have to look at the end of it.
And you're absolutely right. Of course you study. So the thing is that, you know, when you want to, you know, show people something that's better, you have to learn what's going on with this. You got to understand, and that's the whole thing. I always say, a lot of people think they know the system, but they don't. You have to really study the system to know the system, and you have to look at this stuff. Like I have to look at this stuff in order to be able to say, hey, well, this isn't right. You know, and look at the effect that it's having on us.
Alright, the way I looked at it was like, you said you gotta see where it comes from first. Like to me, it's like you gotta look at where it comes from. Okay, who did they study from? They studied from this guy, Crowley, right?
Mm-hmm.
They studied from him. Like everything that he did was demonic. So it's like that stuff had literally been passed down from generations to generations. So when we come back and be like, yo, this is bad, it is, because you gotta look at the creator and who stood there and like shot that influence out from generations to generations. That's just like when, you know, Adam and Eve ate the apple, that made the whole generation just bad. That set a bad part, like from
That
that
took them out
time
of their
to
pure
here.
state.
Yeah, from that time to here. So it's like he put it in transaction, like he set that joint and it shot out from that time to this point in time. And I can look at it and be like, yeah, that's a bad thing. That is bad, because look at the creator, look at who sat there and pushed it out. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because some people, they can look at something and say, no, that's not what I want to do. I only want to be near that. But then some people have to go near it to see it. So it's kind of like,
Right.
he's like a person that has to go near it and see it and analyze, check it out. And you're the person like, nope, I don't want none of that. I can see that right from here. From the distance, I can see I don't want that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's all good though. It's all good because everybody's on their own personal journey. And all I want you to realize is that we leave here. We leave this earth one day.
Right.
And you don't leave here with anything material. You know, look at the Egyptians that were buried with all their gold and all that stuff. That stuff didn't go with them.
Right.
You know, it stayed here. You know, that material stuff doesn't go with you. The only thing that goes with you are your deeds. Okay? Your deeds is what goes with you. Okay? So, let me see. I got 9 minutes. Let me see if I can throw this in real quick.
Still,
disobeyed God, and then when he came to the garden, they were hiding.
Presidents given by the Masonic lodges.
All of our presidents, all my presidents were like Masons.
Works righteousness. His motto was deeds, not words.
That's somebody in my family who was a Freemason.
Yet Benjamin Franklin.
Now, you said somebody else. Okay. All right, but now, what do you know about Benjamin Franklin?
I don't know much.
Didn't he have slaves? Yeah, I think so. Oh.
Yeah, he did have sleeves. You're absolutely right. He
Part of the
did.
Hellfire
He
Club.
part of the Hellfire Club. Exactly. He was in a secret society called the Hellfire Club. All right. But now I want you to see it, because what you learned in school about Benjamin Franklin is he discovered electricity and all of that kind of stuff,
no.
right? Here we go. But I want you to see this.
Direct, openly confessing a widely held Masonic belief. But Masonry was just one of the secret orders to which Franklin belonged.
A lot of religious statues and art, they always have hand symbols that do mudras and stuff, like the Buddha, Jesus, in all the art depictions of these prophets or leaders, they always do certain hand gestures, and that's really interesting to see what all of them mean.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, like I said, there's a lot of different symbols and stuff like that and things. There was a guy. There was a book that was here. A video that was here at Black And Nobel. It was called Philadelphia Exposed, and it was this young brother. He was going down to City Hall, and he was showing you all the different symbols and stuff in City Hall. Oh yeah, you gotta see that. All right, I'll ask Hawk if he has it. But yeah, interesting. It was very interesting. But the video called Philadelphia Exposed that they usually had here at Black And Nobel.
Franklin was a member of secret societies, mainly Freemasonry, in America, in England, and in France. And those were the three countries that were involved in the American Revolution. He was master of the Masonic Lodge of Philadelphia, and while over in France, master of the lodge in Paris, from which sprang the French Revolution.
Over in England, Franklin was involved with a group known as the Hellfire Club. And this is very well documented. You even find in Time magazine. Time magazine talks about Franklin's involvement in the Hellfire Club. The History Channel has documented his involvement in the Hellfire Club. There's a number of books and articles and essays and things like that that you can read about him being involved with this group that was known as the Monks of Medmenham Abbey. That was their original name. And then they were kind of nicknamed the Hellfire Club later on.
We read that the Hellfire Club was an exclusive English club that met sporadically during the mid-18th century. Its purpose, at best, was to mock traditional religion and conduct orgies. At worst, it involved the indulgence of satanic rites and sacrifices. The club to which Franklin belonged was established by Francis Dashwood, a member of Parliament and friend of Franklin. The club allegedly took part in basic forms of satanic worship. In addition to taking part in the occult, orgies and parties with prostitutes were also said to be the norm.
The Hellfire Club was said to be a satanic occult organization that operated underground there in England, and they even had a phrase over the front door of their hideaway, and it was taken from the French priest Francois Rabelais, and it was, "Do what you will shall be the whole of the law." And of course that same phrase is picked up in the 19th and 20th century by Aleister Crowley, and Crowley adopts the phrase, "Do what thou wilt."
Franklin's connection to the Hellfire Club is disturbing enough, but becomes especially dark when one considers the grisly discovery made 200 years after his death. On February 11th, 1998, the Sunday Times of London reported that workmen have dug up the remains of 10 bodies hidden beneath the former London home of Benjamin Franklin, the founding father of American independence. The remains of 4 adults and 6 children were discovered during the restoration of Franklin's home at 36 Craven Street. The Times reported that initial estimates are that the bones are about 200 years old and were buried at the time Franklin was living in the house. Most of the bones show signs of having been dissected, sawn, or cut. One skull has been drilled with several holes. The article goes on to suggest that the bodies may have been the result of the experiments of Dr. William Hewson, who was a friend of Benjamin Franklin. Hewson apparently ran his medical school for 2 years in Franklin's home. For the record, the Benjamin Franklin house officially agrees with this explanation. But there are others who still suspect the dead bodies may have been the result of human sacrifices conducted by the Hellfire Club. The Associated Content even published an article titled Ben Franklin and His Membership in the Hellfire Club, Founding Father or Satanic Killer.
So the thing is, like I said, even with history, they give us this romanticized version of history about certain people. We talk about Abraham Lincoln, but we see Benjamin Franklin. Remember, the Hellfire Club. Okay, so like I said, it's very important for us to study and learn history, because this is the things that they will not teach you, that you have to seek out and find for yourselves. Okay. But we'll stop there. I think it's 1:59. Put that right on the nose.
Right on the dot.
All right, but y'all did a good session today. It was good. It was intense. It was intense.
That's wild. Are we gonna learn about skulls and bones? Skull and bones.
Hey, you know about a lot of stuff.
It's
Yeah,
like,
we gon-
with like our generation, we just always like hear these things.
It's not even that. I tried to study all the secret organizations.
Yeah, well, we'll have some conversations because the next thing I want to show you is those 10 rules or strategies in New World Order. So we'll start with that the next time.
I low-key don't like this app because people be like, oh, we need to talk again. I'm like, who are you? You know I don't know who you are. And then it's like,
I don't know how it got so popular. That's like,
because it's just like Ask FM. That got popular quick. It's like, it makes me so mad. Like, I cannot reply. Ask FM used to reply to everything. They can't reply to this. I feel like we're going on this run. Like, I don't feel like it. My brain hurts.
you know, if you were able to get like all of the money or that?
All of the what?
All of the money for the checks?
It's like every day. It's like when we first started off, we was getting a lot of money. But when I kept coming back every week, everybody like was just like, I can't do it no more. And then it's like when they sweeping their property, you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing about it because they sweeping their shit.
What Lala, let me see your phone, please. Let me see your phone, please. What happened to a coffee yet? What happened to coffee?
Why you ask that?
Check the CMW chat.
She said she going through something, and that's why she been so distant, and not really typing in this or being around. But I love y'all, and I'll be back soon. Please stay safe.
I got one. I thought about Malcolm as soon as what you
Twisted. I want to go see
I want to go see